Hi, good morning. This is Mariel, and my speech is about gender inequality. All around the world, men and women are being judged based on their genders each and every day. My speech may sound like feminist ranting about equality, but this is the cold, hard truth. Gender discrimination has become, and in fact, a worldwide dilemma. The real question is, how do we stop inequality? The actual definition of gender inequality is that men and women are not equal. Well, to those people who believe that men are better than women and who think men can't do things women do, you are very, very wrong. My aim for this speech is to tell you about the stereotypes that have been labeled upon men and women and what we can do together to help them. The discrimination in the Indian society has its irony because on one side, they worship the woman goddesses, and on the other, they treat women brutally. In the Indian society, the status of woman has always been less valued than a male. Since the times of Ramayana and Mahabharata, women have always been the easy victims of gender discrimination. In my families, the birth of a girl doesn't receive the same attention and affection that is bestowed upon a male child. A son is born to the sound of blissful conch shells, whereas a girl birth in many parts of India is greeted with silence, even in sorrow. This is because a woman is considered as a burden. Girls are treated as economic drain. She must be suppressed or giving away to someone else because she crushes her family with marriage and dowry expenses. Dowry is one of the most common reasons as to why a girl's birth is looked down upon. In India, dowry is payment in cash or gift given to the groom's family together with the bride. The dowry system contributes to gender inequality by giving perception that girls are burdens of families. These beliefs are what scare people the most because if the bride's family doesn't meet the dowry price, it will be the daughters who suffer. The payment of dowry has been prohibited, and several surveys shows that while the attitude amongst people are changing, the change is very little. Often the dowry rates still prevail. Tell me, when you were little, did your mom tell you don't sit like this, dress like that, or don't talk like that? Society has applied countless do's and don'ts to females that there is no record of. One of the major don'ts of society is that women don't get paid the same as her superior male colleagues. The gender pay gap is a high level indicator between the different earnings of men and women. Gap is a high level indicator between men and women. As a woman of less value, we're expected to have the more crappy jobs. Statistics show that since the late 1990s, the gender pay gap has been slowly reducing, and in fact, in 2016, the gender pay gap was at 12%. But if gender discrimination has been around for so long, why hasn't it been solved? That answer lies within our education, belief, and attitude. I personally know that the pay gap is a big problem in family because in my life, I've come across various obstacles and overcome them all. But wouldn't it be ridiculous if two people working at McDonald's get paid differently because one is a male and the other are female? To the narrow-minded people of society who believe that women should stay at home, they are wrong because women should be able to go out and accomplish whatever her heart desires. It is important that we are all equal. Men and women have the same access to everything, the same pay, and the same opportunities. Gender inequality isn't only a woman's issue. It is an issue towards males as well. The traditional stereotypes are just as difficult for men to live up to. There are immense pressure to be a real man, to prove physical and emotional strength, and to financially provide as the family's breadwinner. The world often deems that men don't have any problem with their life and gender inequality doesn't bother them. But all around the world, men are stuck in between two words of expectation: societal and their own. Gender inequality concerns both women and men and has strong impact on their daily lives. Although history has contextualized gender equality issues mainly as women's problem, because women have always been their dividing force and behind gender inequality. But as they say, behind every successful man, there is a woman. And behind every successful woman, there is a man. People don't usually see men as the one who are struggling because from a young age, they are taught, don't cry like a girl. If you feel pain, feel it in the inside. Men and boys are continuously taught that crying or showing any signs of weakness will make them less manly. But I ask you this: if you tell your sons and brothers to not cry, will it make them stronger or weaker? Telling them to confine their fears will soon lead them to hide every dream and desires from you. The truth is that half of the time the death of homelessness rate is higher for men because nobody is either there to lend them a shoulder to cry or no one is there to encourage them. So I tell you this: let the men of your family cry. Let them show their true emotions because you may think you know them, but you don't. When you were little, did you dream of being a princess, a wizard, or maybe an astronaut? But as you grow to be a few years older, you decide to be a teacher, doctor, or a firefighter. Because somehow society told you that being a princess or a wizard or an astronaut or anything you have ever dreamed of it is unrealistic. It's like society has crushed your creative little minds and has taken control of your pathway. Men possibly will face discrimination or disapproval when they choose career path. Men have always believed to do better in the business or doctoring field simply because that job suits them better. In the business doctoring field, then I guess that makes sense because what are the chances of men being accepted as a kindergarten teacher, any less than a woman being accepted as an engineer? Decisions made by men are being continuously judged 24/7 because one wrong choice is the end of their career. Working in early childhood or care workforce are radically diminished in the maternal child and health workforce. This creates an extreme challenge for men seeking careers in these industries. It's said that we need more women in engineering and business. But what the world also needs is more men in education and child health care. Discouragement is one of the world's biggest problems and it needs to be solved quickly because discouragement can lead men and women to not show their real talents to the world. So yes, my speech was about gender inequality, and I know that it probably sounds really boring, but all I want for you is to take away from the speech is the fact that gender inequality does exist. And I can't guarantee that it will be over anytime soon. But one thing that we can do is support. We only support each other in everything because inequality ends when equality starts. And the only way that will happen if we are going to move recognize and support each other to greatness.